Why do we do reflections in writing classes? There are three main reasons. Reason 1. We do reflections because there's no way to learn everything about writing. There are tens of thousands of genres that writers use: literary analyses, lab reports, memos, research syntheses, business proposals, and so on. And each of these genres is different in different situations. A chemistry lab report is different than a biology lab report, for example, and a memo at an accounting firm is different than one at an Amazon warehouse. Worse still, each individual genre and each individual writing situation will have different expectations for grammar, style, organization, and so on. At best, we can only learn a handful of genres in a semester, and after the semester is over, each student will encounter hundreds of different genres not covered in the class. The students won't even encounter the same 100 genres. Each student will encounter different ones. A business major will encounter different genres than a music major, who will encounter different genres than a pre-med major. So we can't learn genres alone. What do we learn instead? Reason 2. We do reflections because we want to learn practices about writing. Since we can't learn every genre, instead we have to look at what's helpful across all genres. That's relatively limited. Imagine if we had a class called sports. What could we teach in that class that would apply to every sport a person might play? The answer is quite difficult, but we could probably get to some general practices that would be helpful. Developing a training regimen, the importance of perseverance, and understanding muscle building and cardio, for example. The same is true in writing. For us, the important practices are producing multiple drafts, responding to audience and genre expectations, and making mindful choices, among other things. We can't learn specific genres, but we can learn practices that will be helpful in any genre. So we want to work on practices. How does reflection help that? Reason 3. We do reflections because we want students to become their own best teachers. Reflections help you think through the choices you're making when you're writing. They help you consider how you revised based on suggestions, how you met your audience's expectations, and how you made strategic and mindful decisions in the writing process. Thinking through these practices and choices will be helpful in future writing, and the reflections help you work on that kind of thinking explicitly. The reflections help you prepare for all of the hundreds of genres you might encounter in the future, and they help you use what you've learned to make good choices about writing you do and will do. They help you teach yourself how to approach a new genre as you encounter it. In other words, reflections help you become your own best teacher.